Good morning, students. So we have already started with chapter number 6, that is staffing of NCERT book. As we have already discussed many a times, that staffing means putting people at job. Filling the post and keeping the post filled is what staffing does. So it is a very important managerial function. It is a very important managerial function. And after planning and organizing, the next function of management is staffing. Now, as we have already discussed the process of staffing, I have written the 8 steps in the process of staffing, and under these steps we have covered recruitment and selection in detail. And now today in this lecture of mine, I am going to cover the training and development in detail. Now, training and development, as you can see on the board, now someone has rightly said that if you wish to plan for a year, sow seeds. Yes, if you wish to plan for 10 years, plant trees. But if you wish to plan for a lifetime, develop people. So if you want to plan for a lifetime, you have to develop people. So this is what training involves. So training is basically an attempt to improve the current or future employee performance. Basically, it is an attempt to improve the current or future employee performance by increasing employees' ability, by changing employees' attitude, or by increasing his or her skills and knowledge. Now, for your information, my dear students, these days you people are on holiday, but we as teachers, we are going regularly to school. Now you will say, what do teachers do when students are not coming? Ma'am, what do you do when you go to school? Now I have many answers. I have so many works. There are a lot of workshops which are being conducted by CBSE. In a week, we as teachers are attending 2 training workshops in a week. So why is our principal taking this initiative of making us attend these workshops which are conducted by CBSE? Because he wants his staff to be trained. So that is why. Now that old method his old days have gone, that once you have taken a degree, you are lifetime you are in an organization without taking any training and development program. Those were old days. Now in the present era, it is very important to develop the employees of the organization. So if you want to develop the employees of the organization, it is very important to conduct training and development programs, because if you wish to plan for a lifetime, you have to develop people. So what is training? It is an attempt to improve the current or future employees' performance by increasing employees' ability, by changing employees' attitude, and by increasing his or her skills and knowledge. Right? So this is what training and development means. Now if I tell you what is the importance of training, I think if you know the meaning of training, you will be able to tell me very clearly what is the importance of training. Now the main importance of training can be of benefit both for the organization and it can do the benefit to the employees. Now first of all, what is the benefit of training to the organization? Yes, this is also an important topic. As you already know that training is a systematic learning, always better than hit and trial method, which leads to less wastage of efforts and money. If the staff is trained in his particular job, then there will be less trial and error method will be used, and that will help to avoid wastage of resources, both of efforts and money. Then second is, it enhances employee productivity both in terms of quantity and quality, leading to higher profits. That is another benefit to the organization, because if the employees are trained, then it will improve the productivity of the employees, and therefore that will lead to the achievement of the objectives of the organization, that is profit. Training equips the future manager who can take over in case of emergency. Yes, training helps to provide training to a person for taking the responsibilities in the future. Training increases employees' morale and reduces absenteeism and employee turnover. So if the employees are properly trained, for example, we as teachers, are properly trained, so what happens is that there is less absenteeism because there is increase in the in the morale of the employees, and there is less employee turnover. Now, last is it helps in obtaining effective response to fast changing environment, technological and economic. So it helps to take over the effective response to the fast changing environment, both in terms of economic environment and technological environment. Suppose now there is see, for example, these days we are using this technology, online classes. So I attended a seminar on online development of faculty. So that helped me to devise new and new ways of how to deliver my lectures, right? So basically, this is how we devised your exam, online exam. So there was a lot of work which was involved behind organizing that exam. So this is what they taught us in that online classes for the development of the faculty classes. So without that, we were not able to figure out how to take your text. So it helps in adapting to the fast changing economic and technological environment, right? So these are the benefits of training basically to the organization. Now what are the benefits to the employees? Very, very easy. It helps in improving the skills and knowledge of the employees. It helps in increased performance by the individual and also helps him to earn more. Yes, do you agree with me or not? Then third, training makes the employee more efficient to handle machines, thus less prone to accidents, and training increases the satisfaction and morale of the employees. So these are the benefits of training and development both to the organization and to the employees. Now let's see in the books the next topic, that what is the training and development and education. Now these are the three terms: training, development and education. Now these three terms are quite distinct from each other. As you can see in the book, training is the process by which the aptitude, skills and abilities of the employees to perform specific jobs are increased. It is the process of learning new skills and application of knowledge. It attempts to improve their performance on the current job or prepare them for any intended job. Whereas the education is the process of increasing the knowledge and understanding of employees. It is the understanding and interpretation of knowledge. It does not provide definite answers, but rather develops a logical and rational mind that can determine relationship among permanent variables and thereby understand a phenomenon. Then development refers to the opportunities, learning opportunities designed to help employees grow. It covers not only those activities which improve job performance, but also those which bring about growth of the personality, help individuals in the progress towards maturity and actualization of their potential capacities. So the field of training and development concerned with improving deals with the design and delivery of learning. Now what is the difference between training and development? As you can see in this, it is a process of increasing knowledge and skills. It is a process of learning and growth. Training is to enable the employee to do the job better, whereas development is to enable the overall growth of the employee. Training is basically job-oriented process, whereas development is a career-oriented process. So as you can see that development is a wider term than training. Now moving on to the next topic in your NCERT book, that is training methods. These are very, very important from case study point of view. A question from this topic always comes in the form of case studies. Now training methods, as you can see, that there are two types of training methods: on the job methods and off the job methods. So there are two main types of training methods: on the job and off the job. Now on the job and off the job methods. On the job methods, what are on the job methods? They refer to the methods that are applied to the workplace while the employee is actually working. So when the training is given at the place where you are actually working, that is known as on the job method. For example, if we as teachers are given training in the school, because I am working in Bharatiya Public School and I am given training sitting in the school from the school premises, from the school itself, that is on the job training. But off the job methods are used away from the workplace. The former means learning while doing, while the latter means learning before doing. So have you got what is on the job and off the job method? Now under on the job methods we have apprenticeship programs. Now what are apprenticeship programs? Put the trainee under the guidance of a master worker. Now suppose I am a fresher in a school and I am put under the training of my senior, that is known as apprenticeship training. These are designed to acquire a higher level of skill. People asking to enter skilled jobs to become, for example, plumbers, electricians, this is a very important line, underline in your notebooks, electricians or iron workers are often required to undergo apprenticeship training. Now, who are the people who are required to go apprenticeship training? Like plumbers, electricians, iron workers are often required to undergo apprenticeship training. These apprentices are trainees who spend a prescribed amount of time working with an experienced guide or trainer. A uniform period of training is offered to trainees in which both fast and slow learn here. Now, next is coaching. In this method, the superior guides and instructs the trainee as a coach. The coach or counselor sets mutually agreed upon goals, suggests how to achieve these goals, periodically reviews the trainees' progress and suggests changes required in behavior and performance. The trainee works directly with the senior manager and the manager takes full responsibility for trainees' coaching. Then is internship training. Yes, internship training you have heard. It is a joint program of training in which educational institutions and business firms cooperate. Selected candidates carry on regular studies for the prescribed period. They also work in some factory or office to get some practical knowledge and skills. I hope you are well acquainted with this word, that is internship training. When you are doing, suppose engineering students, when they are studying and in between towards the last semester they go to some organization to have a hands-on experience, that is known as internship training. Now the next is job rotation. Yes, the kind of training involves shifting the trainee from one department to another or from